Alright guys, it's Ryan from RJ Martindale. It's Monday morning and we go again. We're going to be following me around this week. We've got to get a load of stuff done. Some of which are, we get the keys for the unit underneath our offices. So we've got the full building. I'm excited to get in there and see what we can do. So that's that one. I'm in the purple BHE van. I've got to get that to Lancaster, which is about an hour away from Bolton. But we've still got to fit the rack in. So we're going to get that done today, hopefully. Get the rack in, get some parts in the van and send that up to Lancaster. We're going to bring one of the older vans back to Bolton, which one of our trainees is going to go into. Say, I think it's about a 20 plate, might be a 19 or a 20 plate. It's done about 70,000 miles. It's starting to have a few issues. So I'd sooner it be back in Bolton, so it's easier for us to deal with the issues as they come. And then what else have we got? Setting up Commusoft. I need BHE moving over to Commusoft this week. We're currently using Commusoft for RJ Martindale, Propeller for BHE, and it's no good. So we'll get that sorted today. And then deal with any problems as we go. See you in a bit. We have the key. Let's go, Dan. Here we are. Here's the storeroom, well, the new storeroom / office. Let's have a walk around and see what we're dealing with. First thing I've noticed, it's freezing. And the boiler that Paul had before is capped off now. I actually remember 3 years ago when we took over upstairs, Paul got this unit as well. It was around COVID time, and he got us to cap the meter because he didn't want to pay for any heating at all. So we've capped that, but it is absolutely freezing. So we are going to need to do something. Either reinstate that, but we're going to need to get onto the utilities. I'm not sure if it's British Gas that look after that, and make sure that all this stuff is actually terminated properly before we take over. So that's the heating side. What else have we got? We've got a lovely bathroom there. Look at that. Beautiful. He's even cleaned it for us. Have a look at that. Look at him minging. Kitchenette. Now I remember actually seeing this and it was just 2 open rooms, but Paul has decided to build himself an office. Now look, have a look at his boarding. What do you think of that, Dan? I think he's been to a skip and just got anything he can get hold of, he's put it together. He's even used, look at it in here. He used to do stained glass windows, that's what he does, so he's left us a pane in there. Jesus, when you look at this where the socket is, he's pulled it out. Looks like he's studied it off with 4x2 and then just, oh, what's got in here? Insulation. Jesus Christ. Right, so I'm either going to rip it out completely, but I could do with a little office myself. So I either rip it out back to one bigger room, or I'll just ply line all the inside. We need to get some sockets in here because I want an office out of the way. I don't want to be upstairs where I get mithered to death. I can have an office in here out of the way. I can just crack on, but I can't leave it like this. It's frightening. And I've not actually been out. So this is the door to the shutter that gets us outside. And then we definitely need to sort some. Can you see out there, Dan? Yeah, we can get this sorted out. Oh, he's even bored its ceiling for us. He must have tried putting some insulation in or something. I don't know. So that's the space that we're dealing with. If you come round here, Dan. You stand in that corner. I'm thinking initially we need to certainly put some racking along this line. If we can get some racking along here, along that section, a little bit off that corner, and then the lads can just come in here, they can get any parts that they needed. We can start, there's loads of stuff that we can get on with, but the main thing is to get the engineers from upstairs, keep them down here, get the stock sorted, certainly get this secure. I've seen some of these windows. He's put a couple of panes in and just screwed them. Then it looks like there's single pane glass and then there's a bit of perspex on the outside. Really, I'll speak to the engineering guys and I'll get some galvanised like framed cages, if you will, for outside, just for security. I mean, there's not going to be anything mega expensive in here at all, but you just don't want. I think I'd feel better if that was secure, and then get an alarm system that covers both rooms. So yeah, let's crack on. You're on camera now, lads, don't swear. Ready on that. Have we got a Stanley in here? Knocking about. There we go. Can get that split. Yeah, I don't think it'll fit through. Oh, we're in. Easy, slow. It might go up. Drop it a touch. There we go, we're in. That can stay there, it's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Cheers, lads.
Not a problem at all.
Easy work. Oh, mega. Cheers, pal. Is it? You're good one. I am a thief, I'll be honest. Tools. Right, we've got our van racking. This stuff has been at Plum Factory for about, I think the oldest one's been there 3 months, and then this has been only a couple of weeks, to be fair. So we can get these opened up now. I've got the one at the back is for the Renault Traffic. Again, so that's been unwrapped for 3 months. And then these two are for the Ford Customs. So we can get them fitted, get the parts in the vans, and we're more organised.
Is this the best system with wood?
With wood? Both. We've used both. We've used timber. These are a bit cheaper, to be fair. We've used the bot system, which is is it Ali that they use? Is it all Ali? We've used that in one of the other vans, which was good, but to be fair, it does get quite heavy and it is expensive. These we're just going to do a half rack to keep the other half pretty clear. The other, I think with the smaller vans, they can get a bit too congested, but we'll see how they turn out. Right, I think I'll reverse the purple van in here, and then we'll load one of the racks up. We'll head back to my house, wrap the van there, because I've got my other van where there's some tools to do the job, and then we'll sort the other vans out probably tomorrow morning and start getting this storeroom wrapped out. Good there. We're hiring. Oh, Ronnie. Right, we're back at my house now. We've got the gear. I'm not sure how long this is going to take me and exactly what I need, but once we've got the first one boxed off, we'll blitz the other two. You ready, Dan? Yeah. Dan, cameraman's even going to help me with this one. Get camera. Thumbs up. Come on. These actually look a bit better because they're piloted. When we did the other van about 6 months ago, I'm pretty certain there were no pilots, so we needed to pre-drill everything so we didn't split the timber putting it together. But this seems all right, but the locking mechanism on them, the key mechanism, I don't think it's that great, but compared to like your Van Volts or the other one, whatever it's called, the red slider, but the Van Volt ones are a lot smoother. Sweet. Right, I'm just going to finish off now. The deck and the sliders in, the two side units are in. We'll fit the shelves tomorrow because I've got to get back to the office to do some work. The designs have changed slightly, but you've got to pre-drill pre-drill all your holes so you don't split the ply, and countersink the ply so the screws go in a bit neater. But we should be right tomorrow, and the other will fly in. Took me a bit to get my head around it. Right, I'm back in the van, and I've had a stressful last 2 days. It's Thursday, the 30th of November. This video will go out today. Monday we was doing the van, was racking out the BHE van, but that night I found out that we'd lost the building underneath, that unit underneath. So as you can imagine, it was bad. I was like stressed out, and basically what happened, and you probably pull a lesson from this as well, I was emailing back and forth with the landlord. Now, the lady that was looking after the unit underneath, she's never met me before. And the problem that you have when you're emailing, there's no emotion that passes through an email. And was it Monday night? It was either Monday night or Tuesday night. I'd finished work. I've got the kids. I've got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old all over me. So you're sending emails just from my phone. And sometimes you can send an email and it can come across pretty blunt. And the landlord took it the wrong way. And basically, and when I've reread and looked at the emails, you can see why. A few things. So basically, within the emails, the first email I said was, when I take over the building, can I have a month's rent free? So normal practice, you'd get a month rent free. And in that time, I can tidy up the building, I can put the aircon in the back, ply over that office, and basically tidy it up. And they basically said no. And my response was, that's disappointing. You give me a month free upstairs. Now, saying that's disappointing in an email and not really putting much thought into it can come across the wrong way. So they basically said, if you're not interested, then we've got the electricians next door. They want the unit. So basically they can shift it, no problem. My response to that was, no problem, it's no issue. We do want the unit. We need the unit because the offices above are not big enough. Like we've outgrown them. But please, can you come and take some pictures of the office that's been put up? Now, the reason I said that, and the gas being capped off because there's no heating in there, because I know what the landlord is like. The actual landlord I've met, but the lady that's looking after it, I've never met before. And I know he likes stuff done to a good standard, which we've done in the office above. Now, the office that's been put up is not to a good standard, and I didn't want further down the line him to see that and then basically go, well, ask us to take it down or be upset at me, even though we didn't put it up in the first place. So I've said, can you take some pictures of it? And basically the response from there was, the unit is obviously not right for you. We've decided not to give you the, basically not to go ahead with you, and we're going to give it to the electricians next door. And at that point, I then couldn't get hold of the landlord. This is at like 8:30 at night. So you can imagine that night I was like, just stressed. I was just stressed. Because I know how important it is, because we are outgrowing above. We need the space underneath. I was then looking at Rightmove at other units, but it's hard to get hold of units. So you can see on the landlord's, from the landlord's side, why would he want to give me a month free when he can fill it with 4 or 5 people the following day? Do you know what I mean? At this point then I'm panicking, so I want to get through to the landlord directly, and I couldn't do that. So I've needed to wait till the following day, and then 8 o'clock the following day I'm ringing, I can't get through. 8:30, can't get through. 9 o'clock, can't get through. Eventually I spoke to the lady that's taken over, and she's basically said, I'm sorry, Ryan, but we've given it to next door. And she was explaining that I've come across harsh on the emails, and why bother with us if she thinks she's going to have issues with us further down the line. And she's not. I wasn't pulling the unit to pieces in terms of like saying this isn't right, that's not right. I just wanted to make sure that further down the line nothing came back on us, because I'd have tidied the building up anyway. I'm gonna sort all that office out, and one thing and another. So she said basically, you need to speak to the electricians. At this point, I'm on the phone, almost grovelling, like, I can't stress how important it is that we get the unit underneath. What do we need to do to get the unit underneath? We need it. So she said, you're going to need to speak to the electricians. Who's a sound guy. he's a sound guy. In all fairness to him, he wanted to speak to me first anyway because he didn't want any issues with us. You've got electricians, us up here, and then they would be underneath. So I spoke to Keith and I said, Keith, I'm sorry, there's been a misunderstanding, but we need that unit underneath. And he has then said, fine, you take the unit. So we've got the unit back. I spoke to the landlord, apologised, and we've now got the unit underneath, which is great. In return, I've said to Keith he can share the yard at the back, where you've got the access to the back, and you can share the yard. If he wants to erect something off the gable of his unit, then he can do. And the other thing, which I didn't know that was pissing people off, which I didn't know at the time, is the amount of cars. Now, we've got a lot more vans, but the vans come in the morning, they get the gear, and then they leave, they're off to the job. But we've got 5 people in the office now upstairs, which fill the car park. So then when our vans turn up, they're all over the show. And then when customers turn up, so whether it be the plumb factory, the electricians, or us, they've nowhere to park. So in return, we spoke to the girls, and all the girls now are parking on a public car park, just round the corner. All in all, we've got the unit back underneath. We've got our offices above, and over this next few days, we'll be moving everything in. But the lesson within that would be, don't just email, like whether it's a customer, whether it's another engineer that you're speaking to, whoever. Email, WhatsApp, text, there's no emotion can pass through that. So you're better off just ringing them first, speaking to them so they understand who you are, the emotion within your voice, or meeting them face to face, and then follow it up with an email. Because otherwise it could have been a messy situation for us. And we've still not got the racking finished in the BHE van, because yesterday, over the last couple of days, we've had 7 or 8 boilers. We had 6 boilers come through yesterday, combis. And what I do in that situation, when we've got trainees that are coming through that are at the 3-4 year mark, I'll send them out in a van. I've got one gas safe that's not got experience, and then I've got a trainee that's coming through. I will send them to a job with a lead engineer. We'll start them, get the boiler on the wall, let the lads pipe it, and then one of our lead engineers will come back and complete handover with the job. So the BHE van is still not racked because they've gone out with that. So next week, hopefully, we'll get that sorted. I'm trying to get a video out every week. It's Thursday today, and our cameraman doesn't work tomorrow. So I'll post this now, and we'll go again next week. If you like this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.